The following podcast will contain graphic, disgusting, crass, foul, mature, and immature content.
This is Kolvik Darkseed. I'm a half-orc cleric, and I'm really into CrossFit and spreading my Darkseed. Shakes.
I am Melvin Hardney. I am a high elf wizard. Unfortunately, sometimes I turn people inside out.
I am Roscoe Toscobble. I drink to forget, and I fuck to remember.
Previously on the Very Good Adventuring Team. So basically there'll be a ceremony. At that point, we have an opportunity to make things right. And the reason why we want to do this is to restore balance to the world.
We're sending a message. We're slipping mail into freaking doorways.
Right.
No one's contacting us.
This is generally known this is how the world works. Like, other people in the world knows.
Not really. This has all been kind of a surprise to you guys.
People probably forgot about it.
Do they have the sorting trough?
We're gonna get a hauler cease and desist.
You want to know how to play Pogs?
I do.
You haven't learned just by watching us?
I mean, I don't know. I just see you slamming and losing. I just want to learn more. I'm all excited about this now. I can now add gambling to my list of deeds.
Ass whale oil or medicinal herb.
Nobody rides for free.
I'm out. I flip over the table. Fuck this shit.
It's bolted to the floor, but you emotion. I rolled on the first dice a 20, and on the second dice a 3. So that's 7.
And I rolled 6.
Are you fucking kidding me? I don't really know what you're looking for from me as a service here.
I think we're good. I got all the information I need. So, we're done. How are your shakes going, Kolvik? Your shake business?
I have.
Or are you just trying to find the right flavor?
No, I mean,
Keep eating pineapple.
I'm missing
Avoid
some.
asparagus.
I need to go out and...
Don't smoke.
or you could for a more peaty flavor.
Mesquite. Mesquite skeet.
No, I'm not really satisfied. I'm not distributing anymore. I'm looking for the perfect...
Thank you.
So you're still just...
maybe the thing is that, like, I mean, you're like a whole different race, you know? Like, you have a different tongue, different taste buds. Like, maybe this is something that just doesn't appeal to anybody but orcs.
It's very true, yeah. I haven't really met any orcs on the trail.
Yeah, other than your family, I don't think there's any other orcs. There's probably some half-orcs around town here and there, but they're going to be pretty uncommon.
Have your mom...
You know what,
Has your mom tried your shake?
Oh my god.
I would like to remind everybody here that we have not established what the secret ingredient is.
We haven't.
It's never been said specifically out loud.
We don't know anything.
It's just
You
some
don't know
protein
anything.
that fell in.
That got there somehow.
That's got there. And it is in abundance.
I still have to say that was one of your best lines in the entire... You just fucking slow rolled all of us with the... And then the protein just fell in there.
What? Well, no, that's funny you bring that up, because I was just thinking we haven't really came in contact with any orcs, and I'm just kind of thinking back, curious why. Why haven't any orcs came visit besides my family?
Yeah, I'm not done with this subject yet, though. I mean, do we know what the secret ingredient is? Or are we making fun of Kolvik for...
You're making fun of me for not knowing.
Okay.
And I won't tell you because, like I said, it's my secret. It's mine.
Okay.
Maybe you should switch the protein you use with crabs.
I don't think it's the protein. Protein's on point.
Protein's on point?
Protein, I'm looking...
And you're never going to tell us the source of this protein?
No.
No?
No.
Well, I mean, we've got to have some long-running story arcs, right?
Yeah, why-
it's just
I mean, I don't really have a product yet to bring around. I'm not going to show you my failures. It's not going to help me at all. I'm a proudful being.
Okay. I mean, I'm just wondering if we know your secret ingredient or not.
no, that's canon. That there was one episode a while back we talked about you trust them with your life, but not with your
my-
shake ingredients.
That's true. But so far, it's going poorly. Let's just say that.
Okay.
On our travels, I might look around for different ingredients even. I was thinking about that.
As far as orcs go, by the way, and why you see or don't see them in specific areas, so orcs aren't, unlike the continent that you're on, orcs aren't like exactly the same orc history that you see in a lot of other fantasy genres. Like, they definitely are more aggressive, they're definitely more warlike, they're more brutish and all the rest of those things, but the kingdom that you live in, the kingdom of Kol, which, you know, if I bust out the map real quick, basically this entire stretch between these two mountain ranges, that's the kingdom of Kol. That whole stretch of land is a very peaceful area overall. There are some areas that are a little more dangerous, the closer you get to the mountains, and if you go beyond them, you're definitely in wild territory in certain ways. But there's not like wars going on, which orcs are typically associated with war and shit like that.
I'm almost thinking, now I'm thinking about it, just kind of like a backstory. It's almost like my mom. She kind of went off with someone else. She secluded herself. She's probably in hiding. I mean, she doesn't want people to know where she is. That's why nobody's ever came. Nobody
Interesting.
anything. And so she does have a family, but it's extended, and they're probably not very happy she ran off.
Right on, especially with a non-orc.
Exactly, yeah.
Orcs do exist in the kingdom of Kol. They are around, but they're not like there's major dwarven cities, there's major elven cities, there's like other places where the other races gather and congregate as like an area that's dominantly of that race specifically. But the majority of this kingdom is humans. But orcs don't really have like a major city of any kind. They don't organize to that level where they want to settle into cities. They're more in like smaller tribal, somewhat more nomadic lifestyle, you might say. My thought was, what's the right term for gypsy now? Because gypsy's a bad word now, isn't it?
Is it?
Is it?
It is, yeah. So when you put gypsy, it's more of a negative connotation to those kind of people trying to escape and their lifestyle.
Yeah, well, and it's got like a root word
Yeah.
that goes back to something negative. So there's another word for that.
I never really thought about it like
And so when
people from a place rather than... I've always thought about gypsies like how they live.
Well, it's like, I mean, because in Europe, Eastern Europe, it's gypsies. In England, it's pikers. In
Filthy pikers.
filthy pikers.
Pikey.
And the like the Hmong people are all, that's basically like Asia's equivalent of gypsy. Hmong is like, I think Hmong is still okay to say. I don't think
Yeah.
that's derogatory in
Yeah,
any way, but yeah, I don't know what the equivalent term is, but basically I think of orcs in this world not only in that nomadic and traveling lifestyle, but also in the way that people that live that nomadic lifestyle are like the way they're treated in our world, like a bunch of fucking like thieves, and they're stealing babies and shit like that. Like
They're the free folk.
the free folk. That's a much better way to put it. Orcs are the free folk. But yeah, so I like establishing orcs as that. So like, maybe your mom is part of a traveling caravan of musicians and bards and orcish peoples, whatever else that she found love at some point and slipped away.
Yeah, but that's kind of why anyway, back to you. Not good.
Not good.
Nope. Kind of affecting my mood, actually.
You're sad that your shake business isn't taking off?
It's true. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of why I went off. Explored to expand the shake business, but nope.
Well, what can we do? Do we need to find you some more ingredients?
I think some better ones. Once we're on our travels, I think I'll know. I'll find some equivalent. Start picking. Maybe I'll get into horticulture.
We'll keep our eyes out, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Ingredients that go good with warm protein.
Sweet
Warm,
and savory.
viscous.
Almost semen-like consistency protein.
Almost.
Almost. Poo-poo, pee-pee.
That was pretty perfectly dropped right there.
Almost semen-like.
Oh my gosh.
Well, gang,
All right. That was a fucking tangent and a half.
that was like 7 or 8 tangents. I think those are actually some pretty fucking awesome tangents. Anything else that we wanted to tangent our way through in the meantime? Questions, etc.?
I feel like it's getting pretty late. We should go to bed.
Bad? Yeah. Who knows
Defeated.
what'll happen?
Maybe something.
We are kind of getting into Seinfeld territory here.
We'll all sit around playing Mario Kart.
Bow, bow, bow.
Boom, boom, boom.
After your night of fun and excitement down at the Broken Egg, and you're establishing Dunk's usefulness, you guys are hanging around in the shop, and it's kind of weird because you get an unexpected visit from Aegis. Typically, he sends his messengers in advance and whatnot, but not today. Today, he just drops by. It's, by the way, it's been a couple of weeks since you got back on your little world tour with Exude. You kind of been doing, your miscellaneous stuff around town and teaching Kolvik how to gamble and all the rest of that stuff that all happened in that sort of interim period here. And as you guys are outside in the backyard watching Grace play, having a casual afternoon beverage or two, let's say, he just stops by. He kind of BS's with you guys a little bit about, town and nothing in particular, which is kind of weird again, because, it's usually he's so straight to the point. But eventually he does settle into the point. And he says, I have a favor to ask of you guys. Daph's been making noise about adventuring again. She's always fancied herself a fighter. She wants to prove herself, yada yada. I'm starting to get a little older, and I really need her to be ready to take my place. I need her to get this out of her system. Focus on what's important. So I'm asking the three of you to take her out on an adventure. And as he says adventure, I mean, you can, the air quotes go there. And he continues on, says, I kicked a group of those bird creatures out of the city a while ago, and I think they've taken up residence in the woods west of town. They're typically pretty harmless, just beggars, but they'll get desperate once in a while and do something stupid. I want you to get out there, and I want you to get rid of them, and I want you to bring my daughter with you. I don't care if you kill him, I don't care if you get him to move along, I just don't want to see him in my city again, and I want Daph to feel like she participated. I want you to understand as well, your primary responsibility here is to keep my daughter safe. She's the only thing I have for a legacy, she's the only heir I've got. I don't think Helen's going to be making any more for me anytime soon. So get her out there, get her back safely, and there'll be 3,000 gold waiting for you when you get back. Deal?
3,000 gold? Listen, you walked in here, you asked us for a favor. We're going to do you a favor, buddy. No cost.
Just look. My reactions exactly.
Yeah,
Very good.
Silence from the crowd. Melvin is saying, favor for favor. Huh. Right on.
Well, I've not led the business decisions thus far, so I'm not going to start now. I'm just confused. I mean, maybe I'll ask later. Well, no,
Yeah,
we'll see
right
what
on.
happens, but you haven't led us wrong yet.
Listen, this guy needs a favor. He's done right by us so far. And, we're just trying to build up some goodwill here. We have some ideas that we might want to do with that wizarding tower that we might want to sell, rent, or otherwise.
Could use some business connections for, sure. I can
Yeah.
see that.
So I go to Aegis. Is Daft ready?
Yeah, she'll be ready. I'll have her ready 2 days from now. You can take her out of town.
And what are these bird creatures?
I'm going to have each of you roll a history check. A nature check to see if you know what he's talking about.
He lost me when you said beggars. I'm like,
I have 12.
okay.
17.
Roscoe, you're the one that remembers these things most clearly. You actually remember them being in town. They are a little race of creatures, humanoid bird creatures called a kenku. They are kind of shorter, and the weird thing about them, and you got a pretty darn good roll on that nature, 17. The one thing you know about them that's really kooky is the fact that they organize into, tribes and groups and all the rest of that, but they don't really have a language. They are very good mimics, but they don't specifically have their own language, right? So they just mimic things that they hear. They can imitate things almost perfectly, but they don't have their own specific language.
But they're humanoid?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, imagine how are these things described? They're like a
person?
like a crow's head bird person. In bird culture, that is considered a dick move.
It's been a tough year for bird person.
So yeah, you guys are, and you, once Roscoe remembers it, you guys kind of like, oh yeah, I remember those guys. It was just like this weird little tribe of these beggars, essentially, and they're, memorable because they would just make they'd imitate sounds. So like they'd hold out their hand like they were begging, but they'd make the sound of coins clinking together. But it was like spot on, perfect imitation.
Let's go see how they mimic the sound of their friends dying.
Tally ho then. A couple days pass by, and you get to Gringold Manor to pick up Daff, and you set off. You set off to the west to the woods, and Aegis didn't really have a specific location. You just said, just go along the road. You're probably going to run into him because he's gotten some reports of him being out there. Sure enough, after, let's say, a good half day's journey, it's getting to be early afternoon.
Let me ask, are these things evil by nature, or
They're more naughty by nature.
They're down with OPP.
Pretty proud of that one. Anyway.
are they like just kind of a nuisance? Like they're exterminated without a whole lot of...
Yeah, I mean, they're a fairly evil creature. They're very greedy.
Okay.
They are...
Damn, Midas. I mean, if they're beggars, so...
Mm-hmm.
User. Okay.
Although it is a very popular thing in D&D these days for people to use them as like a playable race and play them, which I don't really know how that works personally, but
Interesting.
yeah, that
Turn them into mailboxes, like the beggars. What was that in The Simpsons? Was that?
Oh, that was he was turning the homeless people into mailboxes.
Was that Hank
What?
Scorpio's town?
Yeah, that
when he
was
was
Hank's-
selling Homer on it.
Yeah.
He showed him the recruitment video. Like, there's
Are
a
they
bum
just-
on the street, and the bum just turns into a mailbox.
like transforms, or like he's holding a mailbox, or
No,
what's-
he doesn't actually turn into a mailbox. It's like a metaphor for like instead of a bum being there, there'll be a nice shiny mailbox.
all right. I fucking can't remember where we are, so let's just start back over with going to pick up Daff.
I think we picked her up, and then I asked if those things are just innately evil, and we're not going to have any problem just slaughtering them.
So yeah, you go pick up Daff, and fuck no, my head's in just fucking weird marsupial space. Just
You're inside of a pouch right now.
just pictured you like
Help.
like
Help. Next hand shape appears on the outside of it.
To be honest, my first thought was like you just stuffed Daff in your ass,
Well, that's a
trotting
good.
out on an adventure.
That's a question though. Did we show up on our horses?
Does Daff have a horse?
Wasn't
But I don't think there's a need for horses up there. How far outside of town are these things?
Not far.
Yeah, we can just hoof it. This is on our feet.
I mean, you guys talked about using the horses to get everywhere.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Why did we buy those sweet horses?
Let's get on our horses and ride right into the camp and run over some of the stupid things.
Yep. They're fucking
Just
war
charge.
horses.
Yep. Let's go to war.
Come on, Devin. Let's go to war.
Lenny the Dick, let's mount up.
I forgot.
Colmick, that's your cue.
I know. I was trying to remember my damn horse's name.
Immaculate.
Immaculate.
It's a lot.
Charge in as fast as your little heart desires, but he won't because he's scaredy pants.
Immaculate! To war as much as you're comfortable.
Cowardly into war.
Brave, immaculate.
What a blood-curdling war scream you have.
All right, is Daff on one of our horses, or is she on her own horse?
Oh, Daff's got her own horse.
Okay. Is it a war horse?
Yeah, I would imagine Daff's got a war horse.
Because they're rich.
Daff would have access to whatever fucking horses she wanted to,
And she fancies herself a warrior.
So she goes out to the garage and gets her war horse, her war stallion.
What's her horse's name?
Dirk.
Dirk.
Is it hung?
Do you want to go check?
Does everything have to be about penises, Roscoe?
Well, Dirk Diggler. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this horse is... It leaves a real easily trackable trail.
Somebody's dragging a rope here.
It's got like a...
Who tied such a narrow plow to a horse?
It's got like a separate harness just to keep it up. Like,
It's on wheels.
As a greaser.
Like one of those dogs whose back legs don't work.
She goes to the back. Wickedy. Somebody grease the wheel.
It's a specially made saddle that holds it up.
All right. So are we just kind of creep up on him and then charge in there, or are we just galloping full on from where we are?
Let me lay down some scene for you guys here first. All right, you guys go. You grab your war horses. You make your way out to the Gringold estate and pick up Daff. She's got Dirk, her horse, and you travel westward out of town. You've been traveling for, like I said, what did we say? Maybe like 3-4 hours, something like that. You've gone a good distance from the edge of town here, and off in the woods north of you, you hear a woman crying out. And she says, "Who's there? Don't hurt me. I don't have anything."
No,
What would you like to do?
Charge our war horses at the voice?
no.
First
It's a trap.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to jump off my horse and go scout?
Yeah.
All right.
Very carefully. Knowing that these birds mimic other things very well, it smells like a trap.
And funny enough, as you take the time to dismount from your horse, you hear the same exact cry. "Who's there? Don't hurt me. I don't have anything." And it's like, there's no recordings.
Verbatim, just.
Yeah. And there's no recordings in this world, obviously, but it's exact. It's identical.
Can we see any, it's nighttime, correct?
No, you guys, man, I'm really bad at setting the fucking scene for you guys. It is now early afternoon. You're miles west of town along the roadside, and these calls are coming from the woods north of the road.
Okay. I'm going to walk with you. My thought process is if we can see him or it, whatever it is, maybe we can do a hold person on him, and it can give us more information.
That's fair. All right, let's creep up into the woods.
You creeping?
Yep.
I am going to have you make 2 rolls. Is everybody going, or is just Roscoe going first of all?
I would prefer not going with everyone and trying to come at them from a different angle if I can find a way.
Okay. You'll hang back, let them move forward a little bit. So while you guys are all, let me just double check that this is gonna. Oh yeah, for sure. While you guys are all discussing strategy and how you're gonna approach this, Daff has picked up on the fact that this is like what the plan is, and she just hops off of her horse and like draws her rapier and starts walking into the woods.
Walking into the wood?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's just grim, moving forward. She's gonna go cut some fuckers up.
Can I grab her before she walks too far? Is she too far gone?
You could jump up and catch up to her, yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be really loud, huh?
All right, why is she fucking up our program? What's the matter with this chick?
She's an impetuous
I'm gonna do it.
child.
Yeah, I'm just out of thought of usually our planning method isn't what we're gonna do. I'm gonna jump up out of instinct and try to get her down and
All right.
kind of give her the quiet sendable.
So you walk up and you grab her on the shoulder, and she kind of like spins halfway around, and she gives you a dirty fucking look, like how dare you touch me? She didn't say it, but you can read all over her expression what's going on here. Do you want to say anything to her, or are you just
Nope,
grabbing
I'm
her by
just
the
gonna
shoulder?
look at her. I mean, I'm bigger than her at this point, so I'm just gonna look at her and do the quiet symbol.
Just so you know, you are not bigger than her by much. She's 6 feet tall.
I'm 6'4", right?
4
Yeah,
inches
that's
is good, but I mean, she's like bulky
6
and
is
muscular as
better.
well.
Am I right?
You're red hot with the penis
Okay.
jokes tonight, man.
Nick's putting them on tees for me.
Well, at this point,
You are
kind of
definitely
not worried
bigger.
about-
You're.
okay.
I mean, you. I could try to have you roll like for intimidation or something like that, but
probably.
I did try my best never to make you guys roll for things that just aren't going to fail. And she's not
She
smart
wouldn't
enough
be-
to. She's not smart enough to be
Yeah,
intimidated.
and she probably wouldn't be. I mean, she's on a high horse. Why would she be? So, but
She's
yeah,
technically she's off her horse.
I'm still just gonna look at
All
her.
right, she's gonna be a pain in the ass. I'm not gonna fight it. I get up and I sprint at the voice.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Then, based on that, I will have Roscoe and Kolvik, each of you make a perception roll.
2.
14. Yeah, 14.
You know what, Melvin, why don't you make one as well?
I'm good at rolling. Let's see. Good thing that I rolled because that would be a 5.
Excellent.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Got 2 1s and a 5 tonight.
You guys are welcome to like bring your own dice if you want to, I guess.
Yes.
Maybe I will.
My own dice.
Maybe I will.
Do you have one that has a 20 on every side?
I bet you they sell those.
Roll a 20 again.
20 again. Sure
would-
does suck rolling all these 20s.
That would be the Roscoe dice.
They make us. I think they make loaded or weighted dice.
No, I tried looking those up. They don't make them for 20-sided dice. There's ones that are like imperfectly balanced, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen any like intentional ones. So the way this is going to go down is you guys you bolted towards the woods, Roscoe,
Mhm.
and a couple ammo. I'm going to put you on this page. So for the listeners at home, this will be the very first time I am presenting the players with at least some sort of map that they can then see where they are in relation to other characters and creatures. So we don't have to spend quite so much time fucking around with distances and where everybody's at. Hopefully that makes combat a little more interesting. So what you see before you, I will describe to you now. There are a total of 7 of these Kenku. Roscoe, as you run into the woods, they jump down from the trees and they start making all kinds of weird noises. They're what sounds like coordinating the attack, but they're doing it by making like nature sounds and like clanging and bashing and like the sound of weapons hitting each other, the sound of like wind and farts and all kinds of other stuff. Like it's just none of it's really language in any sensible format. It's just they're mimicking sounds, but it's from all around you.
For fun, I yell, "Please stab me."
There's 2 of them right away. Please stab me! Please stab me!
Please stab
But it's
me.
like a perfect imitation of your voice.
Please stab me. Please stab me.
Off the out of game.
Kolvik, can you edit that in? Like,
Oh, yeah.
or somebody edit
Yeah,
that
We
in?
can definitely do that. That would be great.
Like, make an echo. Please stab me! Please stab me!
I'm pretty sure we had some long rests, so Do you guys have low hit points?
Please
in your-
stab- please
Oh yeah.
stab me.
You guys have had more than enough time to so heal up,
Yeah.
and then once you are done healing up, get yourself in the turn order. Ahoy, listeners! Thanks for being here. This week we have 2 whole reviews to read. It's super exciting. Dungeon Master for President tells us, excitement and adventure in D&D 5e. I got to jump into the action with a tale of fighting a dragon in episode 13, and I was hooked. The players are obviously all having a lot of fun in the campaign world and interacting with one another, but the real star here is DM Nick's skills in bringing scenes and NPCs together.
I have sampled a lot of 5e podcasts, and so many of them have their own flavors with homebrewed content and party dynamics, but VGAT is not one to pass up. Jagged Sun also left a review saying, "These guys are hilarious and creative in their role-playing. The DM does a great job painting a picture of the world, and the added music in the background helps immerse the listener into their story. A well-rounded show that everyone should give a listen to." Well, thanks, Jagged Sun, and thanks, Dungeon Master for President. We are very grateful for your kind words. Over the past few weeks, I've mentioned a Kickstarter campaign called the Retroverse. The folks behind it had some trouble on the back end of things and were not able to complete their campaign. As unfortunate as it was, especially given that they raised over $30,000 in the first day, they took the campaign down for good reasons. The best reason, really. They wouldn't have been able to meet the goals they set up. They're going to try again in a few months, though, so let's see how it turns out next time. I'm still excited. Finally, I'd like to thank Bryant and Emily for their donation to the podcast. In your honor, we dedicate this episode of VGAT to Mark Zuckerberg, the posthumous Plecostomus. May he swim forever in the fish version of the Elysian Fields. Let's rejoin our team as they brave woods full of brash daughters and bandit Kenku. Roll for initiative. Roscoe, you got a 14. Kolvik?
14.
Which of you has the higher dexterity? That's going to be Roscoe, isn't it?
And a 6.
Mine is less.
Melvin?
My initiative?
Yeah.
Oh, it was on there. 8.
Daff is getting a 10. And then let's just roll down the list here.
So when you ask for a dexterity, you're looking for the number on the left, correct? The large number above the 17, so his dexterity would be 3? Or would be under saving throws?
It's easiest to use the 1 through 20 number.
Yeah.
And the reason I ask for that is because when you tie on initiative, whoever has the highest dexterity score goes first.
So I think
So it'd be like
Roscoe has a 3, right? Not a 6?
Roscoe's probably got like a 18 or a 16 or something.
overall.
Yeah, so it'd be 3. You have a dexterity modifier of 3. And
No, I'm looking for the dexterity score, not the modifier.
Okay, so yeah, you have a 17 and I have a 14. So you're still higher, but I just want to make sure for myself as well when you ask.
It'll most of the time work out to use the modifier, but the modifier is because it's like a division operation. That
Gotcha.
like 13 and 14 look like the same number, blah, blah, blah. 19 and 20. Anywho.
Man, there's a lot of stuff in this book. I've barely looked at it.
The player's handbook is pretty fucking awesome. I have spent not nearly enough time reading that thing. All right.
Daff better watch out. Kolvik may be falling in love. Big, strong girl.
Uh-huh. Yeah, did you see that picture?
Yeah, I did. I was like, dang.
I don't know who that actually is, but she's badass.
Mm-hmm.
So Roscoe had rushed forward. That got the attention of all of these Kenku, and they dropped down from the trees with a variety of weapons at the ready. So the way this looks right now is you have 7 Kenku in the woods, Roscoe just into the woods, maybe like 10 feet in. Daff and Kolvik are about 10 feet from the edge of the woods, and then beyond that by another about 20, 30 feet is where Melvin stands.
Well, that's my intent was not to be far back. Like I wanted to flank these people.
Oh, you basically haven't even moved yet.
Okay.
So like Daff was charging forward. Kolvik went and grabbed her by the shoulder, and then Roscoe bolted past. So you're basically just still standing next to your horse at the road.
I mean, basically when I saw what was unfolding with Daff, I kind of figured I know what's happening here, and I started to make my way to flank what I knew was probably going to be some kind of trap.
Okay. So where do you want to be?
I want to be, well, no, I'm also, because this is like to the...
Let's just call up north on the map.
Okay, so I'll try to swing around north of this group of creatures.
So Melvin, what I'm going to give you is basically a free round of movement, which is what more or less what they got. So you can go from your original position, which was back over there, if you could see that little marker I was just making. You can go about 30 feet from that.
And each block is 5 feet, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So let's walk through this one more time, now that everybody is in their final spot. There are 7 Kenku in the woods, who, by the way, are named Shoe, Russell, Puff, Plink, Click, Knock, and Bang.
Awesome.
Those have dropped down from the trees. They are all roughly in front of Roscoe, who is just in about 10 feet into the woods. About 10 feet out of the woods, so in other words, right now what we're calling west of Roscoe, is Daff, who has Kolvik immediately behind her. And about 30 feet north of Daff and Kolvik is where Melvin got to in the beginnings of his flanking maneuver. Melvin, Kolvik, and Daff are all outside of the woods. Roscoe is just into the woods, and there's a boatload of Kenku.
Let's get him.
We will begin with Shu. Where are you, Shu? Shu is going to fire a short bow at Roscoe.
Boo.
Melvin, you might want to
That's going to be
raise your
a...
hit points.
Shu rolls a 22,
Against my 14.
and that is going to be it's going to 4 damage.
Why did they say that in the chat?
Oh, I had to make the characters because they're not in the little dictionary thingy, so he fucking shoots you.
Yeah, for the chat. 22, he fucking shoots you. How much damage?
So that's 4 damage from Shu. Russell is going next.
Why did it say damage 4 plus 5?
So it always rolls 2 dice.
Okay, so that's going to be the plus for if it...
So the one on the right would have been, like, basically if they had advantage for whatever reason, it always rolls the 2 dice. The one on the right was a crit, and so it shows you what the crit damage would be extra, but he didn't actually get the crit, so.
Perfect.
Russell, which is R-U-S-T-L-E, by the way, for the listeners at home, not Russell like Russell Crowe. Russell. Fuck is Russell? Russell's right there. Russell is also going to short bow at Roscoe. That's going to be a 16, which should hit.
Hits my 14.
That is going to be 7 piercing damage from Russell. And now, Kolvik, it is over to you.
Seeing how Roscoe runs ahead and I saw the first few shots go towards him, I'm going to go and run his direction. Probably 2. Wait, sorry about that.
You see my ruler on your screen there?
Yeah.
That gives you an idea of like where
Let's
you
go
can
ahead
make
and
it
go.
to.
I'm going to go above him or left of him anyway. And I'm also going to cast Shield of Faith on him to give him the +2 to his armor class.
Excellent.
Let's go ahead and do that. Because I don't want him to hurt no more.
Yay.
All right, that is movement and bonus action. Would you like to take an action on your turn?
And that could be one more healing spell if I need.
You cannot do 2 spells in one round, unfortunately.
Okay. And they're a little bit far away for me to hit them. Still more than 5, so okay.
Don't you have a ranged weapon? Don't you have like some javelins or some shit?
I do have a javelin.
I mean, I don't want to play the game for you, but...
No, that's fine. I totally forgot I had that awesome javelin. Alright, would it take an action for me to put my sword down and my warhammer and grab my javelin?
Nope. So you're holding your javelin, or you're holding your warhammer in one hand and you reach back and grab a javelin and throw it with your other.
I'm going to hold my warhand with my left hand, hold my javelin with my right, and chuck it at Puff, who is right in front of me.
Puff is right in front of you. Huck that javelin at Puff. Damn, 25 is definitely a hit on poor little Puff.
Yeah, it is for 5.
5 piercing damage against Puff. Excellent. All right, that's all you can do on your turn. Roscoe, it's over to you.
All right. I need a timeout for an explanation on something that I don't understand, being a noob. For Assassinate, it says any hit I score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit. So what will that do to my damage?
So a critical hit is where you basically... So you've got the damage dice and then the plus. When you get a critical hit, you do the damage dice twice. But none of these creatures are surprised by you. Technically, you were actually surprised by them. Kind of. Because they hopped down from the tree. But they were all very aware of you coming.
I have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that has not taken a turn in combat yet.
So the only 2 creatures, the only 2 Kenku that have turned so far have been Shu and Russell. So as long as you attack any other Kenku, you will have advantage.
All right.
That's a badass ability, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's assassinate. All right, so I am going to use assassinate and sneak attack Puff with my. We decided it was 1 dagger, correct? For the sneak attack.
Yeah. You got to move over to get in the range of him too, though.
Oh shit!
Now we're getting concerned about range. All right, 25 is definitely a hit.
And I need 2 more d6. 9, 10, 14.
14 total damage.
Yeah, on the d6 plus the 5 or whatever.
You obliterate Puff. Puff is a puff now. Poof. You do still, by the way, have your... Or no, wait, you have to use the thing to use sneak attack, right? Your other action?
Yes.
Okay. Over to Daff. Unless you wanted to do any other movement or anything on your turn.
You know what? I will run up towards Knock.
Okay. Get on up there. Daff runs as far as she can to get up into combat, but she doesn't quite reach anybody. Melvin,
Daft.
over to you.
I'm going to cast Haste on myself.
I think that's the first time haste has come out.
I think so.
I've had it for a while. Haven't had a chance to use it. And so this says concentration up to 1 minute. So if I remember right, a round is 6 seconds.
Correct.
So this is good for 10 rounds?
Mhm.
Super duper.
Wow, haste is really cool.
Choose a willing creature that you can see within range. Until the spell ends, the target's speed is doubled. It gains a +2 bonus to AC. It has advantage on dexterity saving throws, and it gains an additional action on each of its turns. That attack can only be used to take the attack, 1 weapon attack only, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object action. Weird that it doesn't let you do a spell, but...
I know. I was kind of hoping it'd let me do a spell.
Well...
I assume that it says attack, 1 weapon only, so yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be a weapon.
It is what it is.
Do you have a ranged weapon? Do you have a short bow or something like that?
Let me check here. Let me check my inventory. I have no such... Nope, I don't. I have a crowbar I could maybe throw at them.
Take that!
Ding!
Knock one out.
I wish I could get like a bag of coffee cups and just throw coffee cups at people.
Like Johnny Coffee Cup.
but pretend like you're LARPing and like yell fireball every time you throw. What's wrong with your wizard? All right, do you want to do anything else on your turn?
I assume... Oh yeah, that takes effect right away, right?
Yeah, that's in effect. So you do have another action that you can use as stated by the rules, or you do also have all of your movement left.
I want to try to...
And by the way, dashing is where you take your action to move. So right now, if you wanted to take the dash action, you've effectively got 4 times your normal movement.
4 times?
Because dashing, so you're hasted, which doubles your movement speed, and you could take the dash action, which allows you to basically move twice on a turn. So you have 4x movement. What would that be for you, 120 feet?
Yeah, because I move 30, 60, yeah. Ooh.
Them crocs would be just a fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna move completely behind these guys. I don't know if that will confer me an advantage, but there's actually not enough room on the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the map is not large enough. Let me just do this real quick. Hang on, don't move, don't touch anything. It is the one weird thing about Roll20 like this is the bigger those maps are, the shittier this thing runs. And so I try and keep them to a limited size of at least some kind, but...
So I move there. I move behind the Kinkus, trying to get behind them as stealthily. We're in a kind of a wooded area, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try to be stealthy about it, but basically I'm just trying to get behind these guys.
I mean, a wizard dashing 120 feet through the forest would probably be kind of a... Was that wind?
Just like a small farting sound, like...
All right, man. Over to Plink. Plink is... What did you yell earlier? Stab me! Stab me!
Stab me.
Plink is going to take its turn, and it is going to shoot at Daff, since that is the clearest line of sight. He fucking shoots you, and he gets a critical hit. That is going to be, not you, that's going to be Daff. Daff takes an arrow for 8 damage and is wrecked.
She deserves it.
Um,
You say Daft is wrecked?
Daff is wrecked.
Aegis is gonna be
Oh.
pissed.
Yeah.
Maybe you wanna make a spell on her.
Maybe
Put a
she
spell on you.
And now you're back.
You're weak. Because you can't fucking die here. Alright, that's it for Plink.
Well, that answers some.
Plink is dead.
No. Plink just hurt
Oh.
the shit out of Daff.
Stupid Daff is gonna get killed.
Good
Click.
thing we have Kolvik to revive her.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't really like her.
Did you take Revivify?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
But, I mean, still my choice.
And you're sure you have that spell?
Yes.
Okay, good.
On Click's turn, Click is going
Please stab
to... Click gonna run up to Roscoe. Click's gonna stabby stab with
Please
that there
stab me.
short sword. That's gonna be a 12. Sounds like a miss to
That's
me.
a miss.
He misses me, bro.
Knock is the next up. Knock is right in front of Roscoe. Is gonna scoot over
Please
there.
stab me.
In front of him even closer. And is gonna stabby stab with that short sword. 9 also sounds like a miss.
Mm-hmm.
Bang. Bang is going to... Bang somehow saw Melvin run to the other side and is going to take a short bow shot. Melvin, I believe a 13 is going to miss your AC.
Yeah. And, yep, definitely is going to miss me.
All right, so we're back at the top of the order. Shoe, Russell, Plink, Click, Knock, and Bang are all still alive. And Shoe gets the first turn. Shoe really only has visibility to Kolvik from right there. So Shoe is going to do a little bit of short bowing at Kolvik. He fucking shoots you. 18 looks like... That's actually a miss, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
I accidentally clicked twice there. Russell does get a turn in between. Russell is going to short bow at Roscoe. 21. That looks like a hit.
That hits me. Please stab
That'll
me.
be 6 piercing damage from Russell. Kolvik, it is over to you.
I wish I wouldn't have done a concentration spell. Now that I think about it.
You can still cast other spells. You just can't cast a
I
different
know, I do want to
concentration.
do another concentration spell.
Ah.
That's what I'm thinking. But Roscoe needs it more than what I want to do. So I'm going to run up to Bang, which has the closest sight towards Daff, and slap him with my Warhammer.
Excellent.
And on the way, can I go ahead and pick up my javelin? Would that be a action?
You have multiple javelins, don't you? You should have 3, I would imagine.
It says 1 in my inventory, so that's why I asked. Well, no, I'm not going to worry about it. I can pick it up later. But I'm
Well,
gonna...
yeah, let's just say you grabbed it.
Yeah.
You're a talented warrior. That would be a thing you'd know how to do.
Wonderful.
Grab things on the run.
Yeah, I figured if it was on the run, me
Ninja
trying to do it.
skills,
So.
grabbing skills.
14?
14 is going to hit Bang.
Wow. For 17.
Whoa!
Mhm.
Wait, what the fuck is going on there?
I don't know. I should
I mean,
only do
you-
a max of 11.
It's a 1d8 plus 3. So that would be the...
Plus your proficiency?
Yeah,
Oh, that's your
I don't know why I rolled the 2 sides of it, though. What's the d10 part? Let me get your character sheet open real quick here.
Okay.
Because I was fucking with it at one point. I might have wrecked something.
Yes, there's a second damage of 1d10.
Oh, yeah, that shouldn't be there. Okay, everything should all be in order there.
Alright, we'll do it again for 14. Well,
You did not get a critical hit.
oh,
against
that's
him.
okay. That's still throwing me off. So a 7.
7 damage against this Kenku. Gets him down to bloodied. All right. Did you want to do any kind of a bonus action on your turn?
Yeah. Actually, no, it doesn't matter what I'm gonna do. Daph's still gonna run around me and do stupid things. So I'm just gonna hold place.
Roscoe, it is over to you.
I'm gonna stab at Knock, since he's right in front of me.
Stab that knock. 8 is going to be a miss.
How about the offhand?
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that click through. 20 is definitely a hit.
Hooray. For 5.
5 damage. Right on. You gonna stay where you are?
Yeah.
Daff, on her turn, is going to, heedless of the arrow sticking out of her shoulder, run up to Bang.
Oh no.
That's fine. If she can hit him, then he should be down.
She's going to use her rapier. Unfortunately, she misses. It does not hit Bang. Melvin, it is over to you.
Alright. I'm gonna cast lightning at Plink.
Incredibly fast Melvin running through the forest. Incredibly fast.
Little Melvin hard meat running through the forest. Chasing all the birdmen, popping on the head.
We're gonna be able to put out an album soon, man. Let's see, that's a dexterity save from this D-bag. That is a success, but that still means an enormous amount of damage for this little Kenku. You guys smell
Chicken.
the scent of burned chicken. And Plink evaporates in a poof of feathers.
Chicken.
You have a second action, but it cannot be a spell.
I'm going to move up behind Bang and attack him from behind
You
with my
definitely,
longsword.
definitely have enough movement to get there, and you will have advantage on this roll because you are flanking with Daff. Huh. Well,
It's a good thing you rolled for damage.
I think we need to start having a pool of how many ones you can roll in a night. So you miss. Let's just move on.
Let us never speak of
What
this
is-
again.
It wasn't a critical miss?
No, that's a critical miss.
But you had
I'm-
advantage, so you had a one above a critical miss.
Yeah. Yeah, you did roll one critical miss, but because you had advantage. So you rolled a 1 and a 2, which would be a 4 and a 5. Thankfully, you had advantage, so you did not like stab through and end up stabbing Daff instead.
That's my third one tonight.
Not counting all the 2s and 3s you've already rolled. All right, Click in combat here. Click is going for Roscoe. Click is going to stab with a short sword.
And he hits me.
Fucking stabs you.
Fucking stabs me.
That's going to be 6 piercing damage. These guys are real consistent on that 6 damage. Knock is going to also stab you. Oops, not the short bow, sorry. 14, does that hit you?
Not with the spell that my good friend Kolvik has on me.
Nice. That's a miss. Bang. Bang is going to now attack. Bang is going to attack Kolvik
All right.
with a short sword.
Ooh.
He fucking stabs you, man. That's
Yeah,
a
he does.
24.
He's rolling high.
That's a 9 damage.
All right.
Yeah, these guys are rolling really well. All right, so we're back to the top of the order here with Shu. Shu is going to take a short bow shot at, let's see here, Roscoe's not really visible. That's going to be Kolvik.
Come at me.
Damn, 21.
Oh, he came at me.
That's going to be 4 damage. Russell can really only see Roscoe. So Russell's going to shoot his short bow at Roscoe. That's going to be a 21. That's going to be a hit. These guys are on fire. 4 piercing damage for you. And Kolvik, it'll be back to you.
Okay. Have you been hit yet, Melvin? You have not.
Nope.
Nice. All right. As an action, I'm going to go ahead and do a prayer of healing on Daft and I. I can choose up to 6 creatures. And we gain hit points equal to 2d8 plus my spell casting ability. And then I get also +4 because of my Kesha
Mm-hmm.
necklace.
Kesha's
shovel.
Bling of Healing.
Mm-hmm. Kesha's Bling of Healing.
Shout out to Kesha.
Yeah.
Hit now. I'm going to go ahead and tap that.
I'm just going to personally say that it's a goal of mine for Kesha to listen to our show at least once. I feel like she'd be into it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if she's nerdy enough to be in a D&D, but You never know. A man can dream.
So 17 for both of us.
All right. We will have to, at some point, figure out how to put that modifier in there. But
Yeah,
so 17, and so each of you heal for that amount, or do you have to split it between?
that's a great question.
I think you both heal for that amount, but
Up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within range each regain a hit point equal to 2d8 plus my spellcaster. It does
nice.
not say split up.
Daff is back to ship shape.
As am I.
And forgive me, was that an action or a bonus action?
You're forgiven. That's a action.
Kesha would forgive me.
Yep, that's an action. And furthermore, I'm going to go ahead and... Yeah, I'm just going to stay where I'm at.
Roscoe, over to you.
Stabby on knock.
Excellent.
Ooh, a 9
9's going to miss,
and a 17.
but the 17 hits.
6.
6 damage. You run knock through, and knock goes down.
Nice.
Movement or anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, let's take a quick rundown for the listeners at home. We have 5 Kenku still remaining on the field. Rustle, Shoe, Click, Knock, and Bang. It looks like Bang is the only one of those that's taken damage and is bloodied. Daff is back to full health. Kolvik is... Are you also full health?
I am.
Yes, you are. Roscoe is down into the bloodied territory about halfway. Melvin is so far undamaged. For Daff's turn, she is going to take a swing at Bang. Oops. I just swung Bang's sword, not Daff's. She is going to attack with her rapier. That is 21, which is a hit, and do 3 damage to Bang.
Man, she has baby life and baby damage.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's not a level 7 adventurer like you guys are. If you'll recall episode 1 and 2, you guys used to be doing the same damage.
True, but I thought she was like head of the command and she was coming up.
I mean, she will be, but just think of it more in like an administrative sense. Like, this is her hobby.
Okay.
This is her side hustle.
I thought she was a guard type. Gotcha.
I mean, she's big and strong, just not very effective in combat because she just isn't experienced the way that you folk are. But she's a strong, modern, independent woman, so don't you give her no sass.
And she don't need no man.
Melvin, it is over to you.
I'm going to cast Ray of Perkins at Bang and Click.
Nice.
Ooh,
We haven't seen Rhea Perkins in a little while.
we haven't.
Well, it's about time,
Pew pew. Spurt spurt.
hopefully. Ray of Perkins deployed. That's like... Are you kidding me right now?
Another 1. All right, it's a Constitution save from Bang. If he
How does this even happen?
if he succeeds, it's half damage. So it'll be 1 rounded down. Constitution of 10, thankfully. Bang takes the full 1 damage. You hear a little fart. Bang squeaks 1 out. Episode 27, Please Stab Me, was released on April 29th, 2018. Please join us again next week for another episode of the Very Good Adventuring Team.
Oh, good answer.
Allow me to retort.
That had a real elephant trunk kind of sound.
All this animal talk.
You'd slow that one down.
Did you ever see hippos take a shit?
Yeah. Fan it out.
Yeah. And then it makes like
You
a...
need to look it up right now, Nick.
It's true.
And it makes like a, I don't know, like a party horn sound too while it's doing it.
Shitting Hippo HD.
You need that 4K hippo shit.
60 frames per second.
It's like a home video or like a family vacation. He's just creeping his way up out of the water. Yeah, he's flicking his... Oh my God! Why did they do that? Why did they do that? What the fuck? Why?
It's like a shit propeller.
It fertilizes the earth.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Please stab me.